Hello, everyone. This is Warhawk Beyond 2040, and welcome to the first edition of a brand new review series where we are going to be talking about Peacemaker Season 2. And we are joined with the one and only, the badass himself, Rex the Boss 11. Rex, it's great to have you here. How are you?
It is great to be back. I am good. Hey guys, how's it going? Let's talk about Peacemaker season 2, episode 1.
So, episode 1, The Ties That Grind. This is the Season 2 premiere of the second season of Peacemaker. So, Rex, we're going to start with you. What did you think of this episode?
Well, obviously, we picked up from last season. You needed a recap, quite a lengthy recap at the start of the episode to let us know everything that took place in season 1. Now,
Of
there
course.
have been bits and bobs between the obviously the development with the Superman film. Obviously, there's certain elements in that film that have been thrust into this series as well, because obviously we get to see where they're trying to recruit the Peacemaker. Now,
Yes.
I still can't work out now if this is a joke or not, but it's the way that it came across. Like they seriously were trying to recruit him, but they messed up. So at this point, we're now seeing that the Peacemaker has now come full circle, because in the last series, obviously, he was a loser and he was a down and out, and he was not even like trusted, was he, to be any
No,
sort of authority? And people were like laughing at him.
pretty
Now we come
much.
around to this series, and it's like he's sort of gained a bit more credibility, hasn't he, for what he did in the last
Yeah.
series? But this series, he is now. I can't really say like there's more patriotism to him, or like he's like a more respected and well-rounded superhero, if that's what you want to call him. But from the very off in this series, I knew something was different. Meaning, I knew straight away the tone of this series is going to be completely different from the previous series. It's almost like they didn't want to give you that sort of Suicide Squad. Like these are
Yeah.
the laughing stock. There's bits of it in the series, but there's not as much. And in this
No.
episode here, I quickly started to notice that they shifted the pace of the last series compared to the pace of this series, completely different. Not as much like I'll say barbaric and unnecessary violence, but
No.
more focus on the Peacemaker character and less focus on the rest of the team.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Another
I
th
still can't work out now because I've now watched the entire series. One
Same
thing
here.
that from the episode 1 until the episode, like the last episode, what is
Yeah.
actually going on with him and this hardcore or hard court? Like, have they broken up, or did they never even get together?
Well, I mean, the reason why the show feels completely different is because in season one, it was connected to the DCEU. And
Yeah,
now that the DCEU is completely dead in the water, James Gunn has more or less done a soft reboot of the entire cinematic universe. So it's no longer the DCEU, it's now referred to as the DCU, and certain things that have happened in between both universes has been more or less been retconned. So, for example, at the end of season one, we saw Aquaman, The Flash, and Superman, obviously kept in silhouette, but we did see Ezra Miller and Jason Momoa make little cameos. But now in the recap, they've pretty much retconned that. So instead of seeing the Justice League from the DCEU, we're now seeing the Justice Gang from the new Superman movie. So there are some differences, and obviously the tone is a lot more lighter. I mean, you still have violent moments, there is a lot of swearing, so they've kept a lot of that aspect. But as you say, when you look at season one and then you put it up against season two, yes, it's the same show in name, but really this could have been two completely different shows because they're totally different. And I think that's why, you can tell the tone is a lot more toned right down compared to season one. I mean, that's what I noticed. That's what I noticed with this episode. I mean, this episode was very good. It was enjoyable.
like, I will say the Justice Gang. They're certainly not as serious as the Justice
League.
League and the Justice Society of America, but
No. They're like a
Honest.
proto Justice League. I think they're like Justice League in training because
I skipped over this as well. Like I kind of feel like they did him a favor by messing up because even I even look at Peacemaker. I think as much as he comes across as a bit of a loser, I
mm,
think he's above them, man.
oh, definitely
I think he's
this.
above them, man, because that the Green Lantern guy, he does my head in. The guy from the Superman film,
Oh,
that the
Guy
arrogance of
Gardner.
him is insane. And obviously, for those who don't know, we didn't get to speak about this together in the Superman thing. So, just going to briefly say that them characters here were really annoying and really arrogant, and I didn't like how they were portrayed. Like, I can
No.
understand Mister Terrific being the way that he is,
Mm,
but the Hawk Girl and the other guy, the Green Lantern guy, they were really annoying in that film. And then to put them in this and have them big time the Peacemaker, I was like, what is this like a dream sequence? Like,
yeah, it did
surely
feel
we
like that
as
a
an
bit.
audience, we've already seen where he's the best of the Suicide Squad. So even though he's
Yes.
a loser, he's still the best of all those losers. These are bigger losers than the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Just
Um.
in my opinion, these guys are bigger losers than the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. With the Justice Gang, they feel like not even the Justice Gang. They're more like the Justice B Squad. You know, like characters who you know
Yeah,
are never going to be in a
this was NWOB team, mate.
or NWO 2000. Yeah, it was
Well, no,
kind
no,
of
no, because
like that.
I won't even have NWO 2 because there were still stars in NWO 2000. I'm talking
True.
about NWO black and white Hollywood B team. Vincent, Stevie Ray, like
Yeah.
Brian Adams, Scott Norton, Horace Hogan, the worst of the very, 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 very
Yeah.
worst of the NWO. That is what this is. And I'd still say that this Peacemaker's still like a Kurt Hennig or somewhere above. Like he's definitely not a guy who would be in the bottom squad or the bomb squad or anything like that. Like
No,
he's
definitely
once again,
not.
he's above the Suicide Squad. He's the best of the Suicide Squad. So there's no way that he should be in. They did him a favor, and I think that's
They
the way that
did.
we're supposed to see that. As in, like, luckily he got pissed off and he walked away from that. Like he's because he's basically like, nah, no, f this. Who's these guys talking to? And he's right to say that. How can they take big time me? Like I'm the peacemaker. But like I said, once I seen a bit of that, I thought, oh, this pace is completely different. This is portraying him as a semi like reliable guy.
Yeah,
Like
I
what's next
noticed
for the
that.
peacemaker? Like I generally thought, and I did from the first episode, I kind of thought, I'm intrigued to see what's next for the Peacemaker because they're clearly going to build him. And I thought about it from a wrestling standpoint, like this is John Cena. So
Yeah,
eventually we're going to see John Cena be John Cena, aren't we? I
pretty
thought, is this the
much.
time now that he's going to get this DC push to where his character is going to become something different, and then hopefully he can get a movie role from this, which I've been reading that allegedly he is going to be in. Um, there's a movie coming up in the DC universe, and he's going to be in that movie.
Yeah,
So I'm
I heard
assuming it
about
must be the
that. So I
Justice
think
Gang.
this is, yeah, I think that's what they're building up to. Now, this episode is takes place 6 months after season one. So, you know, we're touching upon Harcourt. She's pretty much out of work. She's trying to look for a job and she can't get a job because of
Getting in
her
fights.
involvement. Yeah, getting into fights all the time and her involvement with Amanda Waller, who's pretty much put the block on everything that she tries to do when she tries to get a job. And it's interesting because with Harcourt and Peacemaker, they kind of have this thing going on, which is a big part of season two, which we will touch upon as we go along throughout this whole season two review series, is that they kind of have this will they, won't they type relationship. Like there's a lot of romantic and sexual tension, and every time it looks like they're about to hook up, they quickly pull back, goes, no, not today. So that was a big aspect of this episode. But the main thing about this episode that I really wanted to touch upon the most, and they do address this, and it does become a thing as season two progresses, is the multiverse because Peacemaker finds this door, which is called the quantum unfolding chamber, and he's kept it as like some sort of warehouse, like a storage area sort of thing. And he goes into this alternate reality where his dad is still alive, and instead of being the racist piece of crap that we saw in season one, he's like this heroic figure. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that. What's your thoughts on, the whole multiverse concept, and the idea of Oggy, Peacemaker's dad, being alive and being a hero? What did you think about that?
Well, naturally, as you know me, because I'm not this huge fan of. I like time travel, but I don't like all that universal, like Flash, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
skipping
yeah.
through universes, multiverse sort of thing. It gives too much to the brain to be thinking. But if one
True.
program did need this by the end of the series, it was this program because
Absolutely.
once again, this guy is one of the most and John's. Can I just say, John Cena plays this character absolutely incredible. It's like they seen that, and I said this last time, didn't I?
Yeah,
John Cena is absolutely tailor made for this role.
definitely. And
A
he's
guy
got
who, no
better as
matter
an
how
actor.
hard he tries,
Mm,
I just mean Cena in general. He's the because he's been through this. His whole life has been, no matter how hard he tries to be the person that he's being told to be, he'll never be good enough.
no, there'll always be
And
someone crapping
he's
on him.
obviously not. He's not a great guy. He's done. He's this character of the Peacemaker. He's obviously done bad things as well.
Yeah,
But I tell you something: the reactions of John Cena's acting when he realizes that his dad and his brother are alive in this alternate universe, it's like what I've said before. It's like getting everything you want, but it starts to burn an hole in your hand.
definitely.
It feels like molten lava. I didn't like the thought of the not time travel, but the multiverse changing. I thought, oh no,
Not
what's
this
this?
again. Yeah.
But now looking back and going forward, it worked
It
because
worked very well,
you got
definitely.
to see this character in its full just glory. He can't get anything right, no matter
No.
how many times he tries. Even if he does the right thing, and even if he manages to win the battle or win the fight, it's always there's a caveat, isn't there? Like when he
Yeah.
obviously has to fight himself. Yeah, it's like it's so strange to watch John Cena, and it's like this is absolutely. If you could have written what the Peacemaker is, this is the perfect portrayal of the Peacemaker.
Yeah, definitely.
But when I first noticed the motive, I did think, oh no, no. Like, I was very, very like, oh no, please not.
Not
But
this
that
again.
works
It,
absolutely. It's critical in this series.
mm,
The fact the rest of the team's doing what they're doing, everyone's a bit distant, and he's almost living a split life for a while, isn't he? For a good 3 or 4 episodes, he's living like he knows about stuff, they don't know about it, and then he gets himself in trouble. It's crazy to think he walks into a multiverse that is literally his fantasy.
yeah, this was pretty much
God
like,
courts his girlfriend, his
yeah,
dad's alive, and he
his
loves
brother's
him, and he's a
alive.
good guy. His brother's alive, and he's got a bond with him. He didn't kill him, and he didn't do any of that. But then, as you see, as not to give any spoilers, but as you see as the series unfolds, this guy just can't win the big one, can he?
No. I
The
mean,
Peacemaker is just not capable of winning the big one.
yeah, I mean, when they when they showed that they were going to do the multiverse thing, I thought, okay, I thought, all right, I haven't got a problem with them doing the multiverse thing. I never expected, I mean, not to give too much away, I never expected it to be such a big part of season two. I thought maybe they'll do this for a couple of episodes and then we'll move on to whatever it is going to be. But this was actually like watching a dream sequence. It does throw you off at certain times. You don't quite know what's going on, which is good because you keeps you guessing. But just the very idea of seeing Peacemaker in this alternate reality, and I thought to myself, right, there's going to be a twist to this. He's probably going to wake up and realize, oh, it's just a dream. But it's interesting, as you say, his dad's alive, his brother's alive. They're a tight family. It was quite incredible to see that. And as you say, Peacemaker is such a character, not a tragic character, but he's like this low character. He just never seems to get a break. He's very unlucky. And that scene where towards like the end, where you see him and his doppelganger are fighting, and then he accidentally ends up killing him, really took
Yeah,
me by
accidentally. Like,
surprise.
you know, he is not capable of doing that.
No, and that was
I'm
quite
sorry, but I
a
don't
good
care of all the
twist.
skills, all the things. He's not capable of killing that version of himself. That person
No,
was super powered, like way more just with it, wasn't it? He got so lucky by hitting that ejection button or whatever and killing him.
yeah, and he
And
went straight up to the
mad.
ceiling.
It's
It,
mad how he didn't immediately think I can replace him.
yeah,
He knew straight away that he was fighting a very superior version of himself, and he actually knew straight away. I knew from the first time when he meets the dad knows it's not him.
yeah, but he keeps it
He's
to
just
himself
waiting to
though.
see how it plays out.
Mm. Which obviously gets expanded on as
Because he
season
walks
two
in the room,
progresses.
don't he, and he sees his dad, don't he?
Yeah,
And then he walks straight back out, walks into the multiverse, into his dad's office, and he like looks, and then he has to, he takes a second glance, don't he, to make sure that he's seeing what he's seeing, and then he walks
yeah,
out, and the dad knew from then that's not my son.
no, 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 that this was a very good episode. This was a great start to season two, and the ending with Peacemaker killing his doppelganger, which obviously he didn't mean to, because, like you said, he's not capable of taking another life. And it was unexpected because I never expected his doppelganger to die. I mean, I thought maybe he would die probably towards like I don't know, like towards the end of season two.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was
But
a permanent thing. I thought that it could have been like, I can send you to that universe and then I can trap you in there and I
yeah,
can go. And I thought that's what was. I thought he was going to fight himself, but then send the better version of himself back to the past or to his world. But then he'd be a complete dickhead, wouldn't he?
yeah,
Like the really good version, they would all be looking at him like, "What's happened here?" He won't know any of them. Do you know what I mean? He won't know none of them, so that he'll be acting strange. I thought we was going to get to see like, and a part of me wanted to see this, an alternate version of him, as in like now he's gonna be this proper jock. I get the job done. Where on earth is my dad and brother? Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I thought we were
Right.
gonna get to see like the Freaky Friday, like fish out of water sort of thing. But then
Right.
obviously he kills him, so we don't get to see that.
What did you think of this episode before we wrap this up? What was your
Well,
overall thoughts on this one?
I thought it was a positive episode, a positive start to the series. Like I say, once again, I had a lot of negative stuff to say about the first series because a lot of it didn't really make sense to me. Bearing in mind that we were getting introduced to like first off characters, not to mention we both knew from the start the Peacemaker is not exactly the most renowned, well known, or beloved like superhero, anti-hero,
No.
whatever he is, anti-villain, whatever. But this was a great start to season two, and I am actually really, really, or at that point, I was already excited for what would come in the next series because there's obviously going to be more of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to give it a solid like 9 out of 10. This was definitely a 9 out of 10
Yeah.
episode
I,
leading
I'm
into the next one. I think the next one was probably better, but this one was good.
yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. I'm definitely giving this a 9 out of 10 as well. This was rock solid, very enjoyable, and lots of
HBO just
unexpected.
seems to know how to just get you, doesn't it?
Yeah, they know how to get the job
We
done.
spoke about this multiple times before. HBO,
They're the best.
DC should have allowed them to have saved.
The Arrowverse.
Yeah, they should have allowed
Definitely.
HBO to have saved that because I can see now a 10 series episode of just the stupid. Like, why are we bringing in the Justice League of anything if we
Mm,
already had all these characters all sorted out and we could have built something here? Because the Peacemaker is full well proof that if they can put 80% of what they put into Peacemaker into anything else,
yeah,
because let's face it, it's all going into Peacemaker now, isn't it? This is
more
basically
or less. Yeah. This is their
the prize
baby.
egg now, isn't it? This is their
Yeah.
baby now. Like, what else is there from the DC universe apart from cartoons and animated series?
Well, nothing at the moment. But no, no, this was definitely a 9 out of 10 and very enjoyable. And really looking forward to talking about the next episode, which is episode two. So, anyway, guys, that's going to be it from us. We are going to wrap this up now. What was your thoughts on episode one, the season two premiere? Did you enjoy it? What do you think about the whole multiverse concept? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it works? And what was your thoughts on the ending where Chris accidentally killed his doppelganger? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and we will see all of you next time for another edition of the Peacemaker Season 2 review series, where we are going to be talking about Episode 2. So make sure you don't miss that. Rex, pleasure as always. Great to have you back here once again. Looking forward to the next one with you.
It's been a pleasure. We will see you next time, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.
Bye for now, guys, and take care.